Sentai has had a lot of crossovers through its years, especially in-show, and those are always my favorite. And today we're going to talk about the in-show crossovers with Shuriken Sentai Ninninger. Starting off, I'm not going to talk about any of the movie crossovers like The Drive, Tokyuger, or Zyuohger just because, again, that's something else. Those are movies. I'm mainly talking about the in-show crossovers. And in Ninja, it had a lot of crossovers in-show, so I'm going to rank all of those today. And with all that being said, let's get started. The first one I'm going to talk about is from episode 34 with Jiraiya. This episode starts off with the Ninjas just fighting the yokai, and then out of nowhere, Jiraiya comes and attacks them. He introduces himself, but he really just thinks that they're some type of evil ninjas, so he goes off and attacks. Once he finds out they're not, he, works with them. And this is just so cool because we get a bunch of Easter eggs, the metal heroes, and especially Jiraiya. And even with the monsters, just all about respecting the past and I guess just knowing where you came from. And we get this really cool passing the torch type of thing throughout the episode. And again, this was just a really cool and fun episode. Really cool crossover. Again, I'm not that big of a Metal Heroes fan, but it is really cool whenever this happens. So yeah, I'm putting this one in A. And now next we're going to talk about the Shuriken episode. This is episode 43. And this episode starts off with everybody just cleaning, and then suddenly they're attacked by Takaharu's dad. And then when his actual dad walks in, they're confused. But again, this is just something that Shuriken did in the show. So yeah, that was just really cool just to see. But yeah, he gets them and they just play a game. This episode definitely reminds me of the Ninja Man episode from Gokaiger. And again, it is just a clip show episode, but it is one of the better ones. And I also love how when the monster attacks and they have to go back and fight him, we see how much the Ninjas have grown. And then it ends with Shuriken talking to their grandpa, and he tells them if they ever need him, just call him. And another thing I like about this episode, that just because it's a clip show doesn't mean they couldn't drop some lore in here. But for this episode, we finally got the main villain getting released. So that was really cool. I'm putting this episode in A. And now next I'm going to talk about episode 38 with Magiello. From the very beginning, we see how Blue wants to be a magical ninja, and again, something I just love about this show, how, again, they're not scared of being different. And then he runs into somebody from his old school. We get a bunch of cool references / Easter eggs from Magiranger. And then, of course, they fight the monster. Blue is surprised that Yellow is in Japan. And it's so cool seeing Yellow again. Tsubasa was one of my favorite characters out of Magiranger. But my only complaint is I really wish we got to see more of his character's growth. Just like how he did in the Bokanger movie. And then also even in Gokaiger, where we see how Red has grown. But at the end of the day, I do get how this is just a Blue-focused episode, so it was just cool to have his character development go up. And also, just having this actor back is really cool. If you guys didn't know, he was also Beat Buster. But overall, I'm just going to put this one in okay. And now next, I'm going to talk about the Ninja Red and Hurricane Red crossover. Again, they show up at the end of episode 6, but they really are here for episode 7. This episode starts off with everybody training, and Fuka tries to tell Takaharu that she was a little embarrassed that he had to save her. When suddenly their dad brings in some teachers, and we get Hurricane Red and Ninja Red here to train them. We also get a special intro for the 40th anniversary. And again, throughout this episode, they're trying to teach them how to be real ninjas. But the ninjas are just far from the traditional ninjas. And for a lot of this, we don't get payoffs until the very end of the show. But again, it's really cool seeing the growth in these characters. They defeat the monster, and the Reds see how much the characters will grow. And then the episode ends with Aqua Red, Ninja Red, and Hurricane Red talking to their grandpa, and he tells them to look after them. And Aqua Red, they will always be watched over because they are a part of Super Sentai. But yeah, I'm putting this episode in S. In conclusion, I really do love all of these crossovers. And again, I love how they each progress all of the characters, because one thing I love about Ninninger is the characters have such a big growth. Again, they start off in one place and they end off in a whole different one. That's always been one of my favorite things about this show. But yeah, let me know what you guys thought about these crossovers and everything like that. With all that being said, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and signing out.